Hello everyone, I'm here with my next video on the poem I Remember, I Remember. This poem has been written by Thomas Hood. Let us first read the summary of the poem so that we understand and enjoy the beauty of the poem. The poem I Remember is written by Thomas Hood. The poem is in first person narration and it consists of 4 stanzas. In each stanza, the poet compares his present adulthood life with his past childhood days. The poet thinks that his childhood life was a pleasant one when compared with the painful present one. His longing and desire to regain the childhood days are clearly seen from the refrain, I remember, I remember. So let us start reading the poem. This is the first stanza. In the next slide, I have explained the first stanza. So as I read the poem, the explanation is going to follow along with each stanza. Let us start. I I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. In the first stanza, the poet talks about the house where he was born. His remembrance of the sun's peeping through the window at morning indicates his childish ignorance. The passing day from morning till night gives pleasure to the child. Hence, the day does not either end early or prolong. However, at present, the poet wishes for the night to take away his breath. His desire to death indicates his painful life. The contrast between the past and the present is clear through the portrayal of sun and daytime, which means brighter and happier part of his life. In the present, he longs for the night, that is darkness, which means distress of life. I remember the roses, red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light, the lilacs where the robin built and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. The poet moves from his house into the garden in the second stanza. In the garden, as a child, the poet looked at the variety of flowers like red and white roses, violets, lilies, and lilacs. He believed that those flowers are heavenly blessed flowers. Later, he talks about the laburnum which his brother had planted on his birthday. The line, the tree is living yet, might convey two meanings. The first one is the person who had planted it, that is his brother, is no more, whereas the tree is living. The second one is the tree is living and growing, but the poet is decaying. I remember where I used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. The third stanza talks about the swinging of the poet in his past. As a child, he was vital and energetic, who swings very fast to feel the rush of the fresh air. He was like feathers which fly quickly, But now he is heavy. The stanza contrasts youthful physical feelings of vitality and ease with heaviness of the presence. This stanza also talks about his physical decline. Summer is cherished in the country in which the poet was born. Even such wonderful summer could not heal his fever, which might mean his sadness or physical sickness. I remember the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now it is little joy to know I am further off from heaven than when I was a boy. In the fourth stanza, the poet contrasts the child's close relationship with heaven with the rational knowledge of the grown ups who lost faith on spirituality. During his childhood days, he imagined that the top of the dark and huge fir tree was close to heaven. At present, he has understood it as childish ignorance. With such ignorance, he lived happily in the past. Now, the rational mind gives him no joy, but makes him to feel that the heaven is in a long distance from him to reach. Let us start with question and answers. Question 1. What all does the poet remember about his childhood in the first and the second stanza? The answer is, in the first stanza, the poet recalls his house where he used to live as a child with its little window from where every morning the sunlight flowed in. In the second stanza, the poet remembers the flowers from his childhood days, the roses, violets, lilies, and lilacs. He also remembers the laburnum tree that his brother had planted on his birthday. Question 2. Do you think the tone of the poem changes as we reach the last stanza? How? The answer is yes. The tone of the poem changes as we reach the last stanza. The poem had started with warm memories of his childhood, but as we reach the last stanza, it takes a dark turn. We realize that the poet is nostalgic about his own self, the way he was when he was a child, his innocence and his purity. He wishes that he had died before reaching the adulthood, for he is no more innocent or godly. Question 3. How does the poet express the contrast between his life as a child and as an adult in the last two stanzas? The answer is, in the last two stanzas, we are told that the poet is not as carefree as he used to be as a child. His spirit is burdened with worries now, so much so that even the summer pool cannot calm him down. When he was a child, he used to be innocent and imaginative. He used to believe that the tall fir trees actually reached the sky. He has gained practical, real world knowledge now, but it came at the cost of purity. Purity that had got him closer to heaven as a child. He is not innocent or whimsical anymore. Question 4. What is childish ignorance being referred to in the poem? The answer is the innocent idea that the tall fir trees are touching the sky is referred to as childish ignorance in the poem. Question 5. Do you think the poet enjoys being an adult? Why or why not? The answer is no. The poet does not enjoy being an adult. He is an anxious person now. He has a lot of worries burdening his spirit. He is not carefree or imaginative anymore. He misses being pure and innocent. He wishes that he had died before reaching adulthood. These aspects tell us that the poet does not enjoy being an adult. Question 6. What is the theme of the poem? The answer is, in this poem, Thomas Hood seems to be expressing how he is looking back on his past. This poem is a recollection of his childhood. Each stanza of the poem contrasts innocence with experience, the lost world of childhood idealized by memory with an adult world marked by regrets and a sense of loss. Question 7. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? The answer is, the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B C B D E F E. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you. Bye.